Obey the paw.
I am. Thank you everyone that's contributed to our fundraising campaign thus far. I appreciate you all. Okay, so the last time we were here, we've made a stark discovery that Monet, I guess, doesn't look human anymore and has tissue growth that is now spitting out spores, I guess. She's becoming mushroom. And we're trying to figure out how to save her. And I don't remember... We were supposed to get more information from the other rover. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we gonna do. Did I set my status? I did. Okay. Sorry. I forget. These were from the other area that we were in, off to the right. Okay. So this is the volcanic area of the map. A pale floor descends rapidly away from the ridge in this direction, towards a field of shadowy outcrops. Complex creature, massive tentacles and growth unlike any I've ever seen. What is that? Looks like a whole... I don't know how to say this word. I know how to say it in my brain, but word. Okay. Another group of towers rise towards the pale light, each strata piled with silver silt. Shiny. A shiny. My dashboard's freaking out again. It's fine. In the shadow of the towers, there is a deep silence. Let's go this way. From between the towers, a pale blue light flickers over the rocks. Flanked by the towers, this path leads ever deeper down the slope. Let's go this way. Ooh. Got more tentacles. More ouchies. The veils reach out towards the black basalt towers, emanating flashes of cyan light. More veils. We need to be careful. You betcha. That's the complex creature. A gap is opened up between the veils, allowing passage between their gauzy bodies. We go! This veil is in the process of splitting away from the rest of its body. Is this how veils are born, or is this an injury? I don't know. Even on the far side of the tangle, this veil's lights could be overwhelming, multiplying my shadow in all directions. Oh, so it's like really bright. This close to a veil, the light is unbearably intense. Its repeated patterns leaving ghosts on my retinas. Stop staring directly into it. With the blinding veils behind me, I notice smaller pinpricks of light moving across the slope. There are other creatures here. Veils shimmer along the slope, marked with both glittering lights and the dark remains of those creatures who strayed too close. This outcrop hides a wealth of life, from long-legged crawlers and filter feeders to blurred shapes which flit through the suit's lamps. No, you're great, Roscoe. No, you... Water bulbs. Partially transparent egg. I'm calling these cryptic creatures water bulbs. Let's see what we can uncover about them back at the lab. Which feed by filtering water. A strange sphere sits inside their iridescent interior. Interessante. Pale petals. Excuse me? Oh, hey! That guy just... whatever that was, just zapped me. Ew. Which one was our power that gave us... energy? Get close. Glowing fan. This huge curved fan glows with a warm bioluminescence. Waves of amber light pass up. I guess we'll go in. Seems safe. Lung crest. A shelled crab-like creature which scavenges the ocean floor in search of nutrients. I like to call these lung crests. Those bubbles they carry on their back are so cumbersome. What's that thing? Fast creature! Swimming with their rear legs while using their trails to propel themselves somehow. Bright fan. Significantly taller than the Bloom's fans, these creatures seem to favor the rocky substrate of the ocean floor's basalt pillars. On closer inspection, these petals are solid growths, not fragile objects. They sit like thin tree stumps in the sand, each on its own wide. I don't know where I put my chapstick. Oh, we already got that one. Sample candidate. From this side, this arrangement of pulsing and growing forms nestled into the basalt is a sanctuary of life and warming light. Sample time. Just put that in there. Seems fine. Sample. Plant, seed, it's all seed. Large floating particles produced by a deep sea plant. Standing beside these clusters of egg-like forms, I can feel them filtering huge volumes of seawater in pulsing gulps. Away from the outcrop, the silty slope begins to descend again. Here we go! A large field of veils whose pale blue light appears unpleasantly cold in comparison to the warmth of the oasis. A large tangle of veils stretches out ahead, producing a cyan light that softly flickers in the dark. Let's go this way. I show you. I agree. I saw you. The tangled veils create a translucent, twitching maze. Who knows how temporary these gaps in the walls of veils are. We should make use of them while we can. You betcha. There's a beauty to being inside a field of veils, a song of light that makes it impossible to keep a sense of direction. These looped veils are carrying a wave of light that passes from one individual to another and back again. What does this mean? Veils here create a set of gauzy walls, closing off the ocean around. An avenue between the veils, flickering shapes caught in the suit's lamps suggest other creatures make use of the safe passage too. Bow. Like city lights beyond a curtain, I can see the warm pinpricks of an oasis behind this waxy veil. The veils are coming together ahead. I hope this gap will remain open long enough for us to pass through. Some creature has shed or lost a segment of its tail shell here among the veils. It looks small enough to sample. I don't want to go through the veil though. The veil is hung with the husks of its catches, like dark clouds obscuring the starlit sky of bioluminescence. Sample. Digested remains. Past the drifting sheets, another pattern of light skirts around the edges of the tangle. A mutual predator to the veil, perhaps. A gap in the tightly knotted veils leads to a welcoming amber light of another oasis. We go! Sorry, I just realized the other semi-final game for the Summer Cup is about to come on, so I wanted to get that ready. Wow. Gonna name these Coldfire Bathers. They seem to be strongly linked to the light of these fans. These wide petal-shaped plants gather in groups and grow in the light of the deep-sea fans. Their pollen fills the water around each stem. No. You haven't lost me. I'm just curious because Gotham played Angel City. And Angel City is out. They made it to the semifinals. So it's either gonna be... I think it's gonna be Kansas City and Gotham. But Kansas City plays Carolina Courage. And so depending on the winner of that game, we'll get Summer Cup final. But Press got more playtime in this Angel City game, so that's good. Glad to see her back on the field. Trying to tell if this is a colonial creature or a single individual. Whichever it is, we should keep our distance to avoid those tentacles. Death Warmed Over, thank you so much. 69 months. Nice. Thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate you. Welcome back. Yeah, she's looking great. I think they're just being cautious because it's the tail end of the season and she just came back from season-ending injury. Like she got cleared by the doctor and everything, so I think they're just being cautious. Cautious. Let's see here. This fan shimmers with the waves of cold fire, bathing the surrounding oasis in warm light. What is it, kitty? What is it? Hey, Foxhound. How are you? How are you? Unlike the Bloom's fans, these deep water variants are covered with a translucent sheath of mucus which protects their delicate spines. Another garden of creatures rooted into a dark basalt shelf, a welcoming break from the intensity of the Veil Field. Tiny creatures crawl silently along the layers of dark rock, leaving behind small strange marks in the shallow split piles. Just relaxing. Nice. I'm glad you were able to relax. These pale pulsing creatures have noticeable growth budding off their central form. We could sample them here. Okay. Sample. Sample. I need to toss something away though. That did nothing. That's okay. Bud of an egg-shaped creature found in the deep. In the deep. At the northernmost tip of this outcrop, a dark pillar rises up, its stacked layers edged with pale silt. As the basalt shelf sinks back into the silt of the ocean floor, falls away into a huge field of glittering veils. These creatures seem to follow the same routes back and forth through the veils. Why don't they limit themselves to these pathways? Abyssal sail shell. I'm calling these abyssal sail shells. Those wide tail plates are instantly recognizable. Away from the outcrops, the veils claim what territory they can. This field is the largest I've seen, wandering away into the deep. Hi, Ned. How are Karina's making biscuits. Oh. Hi, Khaleesi. Nope, never late. What you talking about? Now she's all cozy. Thanks, it's Nair's. Nair's jersey. Veil gap. A split in the veils leads into their ornate interior. Navigating this huge tangle will be a struggle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The veils are reaching in towards this point on the ocean floor like vines seeking the sun. Here the walls of the veils come in close, turning away from the core of the tangle at strange angles. Strange angles. From this middle point, the tangle, it is impossible to see beyond the glimmering walls to the ocean beyond. The veils on each side are mimicking each other, both in shape and pattern. They're pulsating lights playing a mirror game. Let's go this way. Among the hypnotic patterns of the veil, other lights move, pinpricks like LEDs, shifting in the loose orbit of an unseen body. The curving walls lead to another gap in the tangle filled with light and movement. An ornate creature that casts a net-like arrangement of tentacles and polyps to shock passing prey into submission. I'm naming this creature Deep Ore. Oh, I think it shocked us. That's rude. Rude. This way. Bodies of creatures that were trapped in the veils lie piled in the silt. The veils must pass them here from tangle to tangle. Another clearing in the field surrounded by possible routes both through and past the flickering veils. One tangle has split away from another here, moving down the slope away from the field. As tangles split away from each other, the density of the field starts to thin out. A shell segment gleams among a large number of semi-digested husks dumped by the veils. It looks small enough to sample. Alright, let's go sample it. Sample. Tail segment. Oh, it's from one of the tails of the zoomies. Another piece of territory yet to be claimed by the strange patterns of the veil field. The mobile app has gotten so bad. No, you don't have to be sorry, Khaleesi. I also got sucked into a lot of work stuff. I was just, I want to go back and watch some highlights if I can find them. Because I didn't subscribe to the month of Peacock. I just wasn't feeling it. Didn't want to deal with that. And so I was watching via my little sports app. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, Brazil v Spain was it looked like a really exciting match. Brazil seemed to have taken it from early on in the match. USA versus Brazil. It's gonna be a good one, yeah. I didn't get to see the game, so I don't know if did Marta get to play? Or was it a 2-game suspension? Because I don't know how the appeal went for her red card. It was a 2-game? Okay, so she'll be at least able to play in the final. Man, that's tough, because I want her to have an Olympic gold, because she's probably not going to do more international stuff. Like, she already said she's not going to do World Cup stuff anymore. International stuff. Ooh. She'll be fine with a silver, right? I'm just kidding. It'll be a good game. It's a medal. Yeah, at least we medal at this point. Silver or gold. Okay, sorry. Back to the game. Yeah, and then Spain and Germany battle it out for bronze. Two veils that look like they have recently split present a narrow gap in this maze. Here the veils part, looping back towards their fellow tangles. Although I didn't appreciate Spain's remarks towards Brazil, I think they were just bitter. Another refuge in these dark waters glowing with life. I think they were just upset that they played poorly on their defense and Brazil took advantage of it. I mean, the World Cup curse strikes again. I don't think that there's been a team that's won World Cup and also gotten a gold. Oh my gosh. Kansas City almost scored and it's less than a minute in the game. Holy. And I know that Spain has a new coach after the whole World Cup incident that went on during the celebration and like throughout the tournament. So I think that they did really well compared to having a new coach and like the entire mental disruption that that whole thing provides. Yeah, and they're playing the semis in their home stadium and they have not lost a game at home yet, I don't think. Oshawa is, oh my gosh. Ah, she got it. Intense. 2 minutes into the game. Not even. Wow. Wait, Oshawa is on Bay. This is Chewinga. Sorry. Oh my goodness. It was either gonna be her or Davina. Celebration queen. Yeah, that's intense. Okay. Filter feeding fans beneath a mucus sheath pulse with warm light. I'll call these cold fire fans after those mesmerizing flame-like pulses. Neat. Surrounded by its audience of light-bathing petals, the fan's sheath shimmers with amber light. What is that thing still doing? Oh, I'm gonna run out of power. Alright, I'm just gonna toss a bunch of stuff in here. Wait, that's oxygen. All my samples! Filtering sheath. Chewinga is just so good. Barbabanda, Chewinga, Oshawa.
So say we all.
They're all just like really great additions to the league this year. I felt really bad for Barbabanda in the Olympic trials or games though, because like I think she got a hat trick in all of the games that she played. Like that's not happened in a very long time or at all. Sauce! Oh my gosh, hi! Hello! Almost 3 years. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Is everything ready? Do you need anything? Tiny Human is almost here. I'm excited. Tiny Squish. Among the elegant shapes of the petals, small, still legs creatures stride, clearing particles from their pitted surfaces. The edge of the light from the fan, the petals are pale and twisted away, perhaps turning another source of food. Oh, nice. You guys are just cruising through it. This thing keeps zapping all of my power. It's kind of annoying. The tangles of veil close around the outcrop here, encasing it in a prison of glinting light. Hi, Rain. Hello. Faint flickers of light silhouette a tall pillar of basalt shards. Excuse me, rising up into the faint blue glow above. Hey, Silent. Not quite the dive I was thinking about today. Soon. We'll be playing Helldivers on Thursday, I think. I think that's what I put on the calendar. Yeah, so let's play... Let's play Thursday. 50 pages? What are they asking? Are you writing a book? What the heck? Oh! I love these. Thank you, Sauce. I worked that day? No! I'm sorry. Well, if you are around, you're always more than welcome to join. Let's keep going this way. Twisted back on itself, this veil is being eaten away by creatures, its defensive abilities neutered. We could sample some tissue. Let's go for it. Sample away. Veil tissue. Ah. Gotcha. Well, that's understandable then. Got frame 'em. Wham, 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 wham. Wow. 12 years. That's amazing. I don't think I've done... I think streaming is the longest thing I've done anything for consistently. That's incredible. Congratulations! I gotta toss another thing in here. Okay, here we go. After the last veil, the dark returns. Outside the reach of the veils of the dark, cool water is a welcome change from the incoherent patterns of light. We seem to be through, no more veils ahead. Unlike other outcrops, this one is free of life. Was proximity to the veils vital for other colonies' coexistence? Question mark? Another of Manet's ROVs scattered across the outcrop. We should still be able to use its transmission core to reach the base. Another shelf appears out of the dark, but nowhere on its surface can I see the warm glow of a fan. Wow. Here in the middle of the outcrop on ROV. This one was carrying supply cache too. We can recharge and fill our oxygen. Oh, let's go. Let's access the data in the map. Okay. Good night, Sauce. Thank you, thank you. You're lovely. Enjoy your night. Seems like this ROV is disabled by the veils like the other one. This can't be right. The mapping scans report a large physical anomaly just north of here. From the data, it looks like a structure. That's impossible. Maybe the veils fried the sensors? Either way, we should go check it out. Copy that. Past the shelf, there is only dark. The descending slope. Darkness. There's nothing here but the silt flickering in the suit's headlamps. Some strangely geometric rock sits in the dark. What are those formations? I don't know, let's go find out. A huge flat structure embedded into the seafloor. Could Monet have built this? What are we looking at here? It appears to be some kind of shaft cut into the bedrock. Can't see the bottom. Who made this? It looks like it's been here for far longer than anything else. I don't know. A yawning black shaft that descends into the seafloor. An anomaly that must be solved. Down we go. Spooky! The suit's lamps reveal two dark holes on opposite sides of the shaft, their torn edges thick with crimson rust. The compartment is filled with sand and rock, which look to have entered through the collapsed ceiling. The bent entryway bulges inward like the interior corridor of some huge creature's descended body. What's in here? Creature. This almost motionless polyp with its wavering cilia is anchored to the metal plating. Its pale flesh is drained of color. These pale creatures are scraping patterns into the walls. What are they? Let's see what we can find out. Scribes. I don't know. Sand drifts soften the metal room. On the far wall, strange spirals glint in the headlamp as a pale creature obsessively traces their patterns. There's nothing else in here. Okay. Joy, I hope you had a good time at the swimming pool. It sounds spooky in here too, like even the audio sounds have changed. I guess we go back here and go down? We go down further? Warm shower, lots of water. You got like one of those massage gun things. Those help out a lot too. A huge round doorway sealed by a thin metal security iris, the plates of which are furred with orange rust. Torch available. It's some kind of facility. What was happening down here? Why would someone bury this place so deep? We have to get inside. We can use the torch to cut through the seal, fire it up. Oh yeah, how do I use the torch? Oh yeah. Ignite. Prime. Ignite. Did I do the thing? I did the thing. Okay. Oh, that means we can go to the spot on the East Plateau that we couldn't get through either. Sand and rock fills one side of the accessway. Dark holes in the walls and ceilings reveal layers of eaten away piping and ducts. Ducks. Oh! Franch almost missed that. Boop. Oh, I guess she let it go through, so she didn't have another corner. Okay. Beyond the doorway, a vast dark space opens out into the rock, filled with the skeletal remains of rusted machines. Where are these machines from? Why is it getting red? Why is everything red all of a sudden? What's happening? Radiation? The water's filled with red flakes. Oh, everything changed because rust. I was like, what is happening? I'm getting nervous. My oxygen is also being affected. Catching in the lamps. From the walls, rusticles hang in lumpen garlands. Getting spooky. This place is huge. How the hell was it built down here? There's very little oxygen for the rebreather to cycle here, so we are running on reserves. Let's move. You got it. Once a loading bay or vehicle hangar, this domed atrium is now dark and distorted. Its huge sand drifts hiding piles of oxidated metal. Above a huge shelf lurches out of the curved roof of the bay, its underside hung with globular orange spines. This is spooky! The eaten away frame of a vehicle lies outside the lock, the canopy twisted open and fused in place. I wonder if this thing crashed and then caused the bloom. A large open lock heads into the depths of what appears to be a corporate archaeology. Archaeology? Archaeology. What secrets are buried in this place? Both doors of the massive main lock sit open. The entire archaeology must be flooded. The vast volume of arcology lies ahead, piled with rock and sand, drowned in this dark ocean. The main volume of arcology is broken up by low buildings, partitioned away from the space. Were these offices? Homes? What's that? User X. Autoro. Fragment. Massive breach. Life support will fail in 2 hours. Is there anyone from Bakail on this channel? Please respond. Oh? It has to be like a repeating message, right? Those are Baikal markings. What was an Exoplanet Extraction Corp doing here? I worked for Baikal. Manet worked for Baikal. They built the suit. They built the base. They mine exoplanets, skim helium from gas giants. They help drive forward humanity's expansion. If they discovered life, we would have known. Everyone would have known. Unless something happened here. Something happened they didn't want anyone to know about. Oh no. What's happening? In all directions, huge sand drifts shine in the dark, among them the shapes of crippled buildings resembling the remains of a desert city. An alleyway cuts between piles of sand and loose rocks, sealed up with a security iris after the breach. Passage to the northwestern part of the arcology is blocked by a huge rock slide, with boulders strewn across the concourse. An automated transport sled loaded with crushed storage cases juts unevenly out of the sand. Loose wires hanging across the doorway are clumped with fragile lumps of silt like tumorous growths. So we'll go back to this door in a second. I just want to see what's over here. The lines of fabricators and machines suggest this was some sort of machine room for the repair and maintenance of arcology. Scripting. Deep retrieval needs more repairs. They need to stop pushing so hard. The artificers aren't going anywhere. The angular shapes of heavy machinery are everywhere, their delicate parts fused by corrosion into complex thickened vein patterns. Metal walls are buckled by pressure and corrosion, leaving a large wound in the side of this compartment. This entire corner of the room is piled with tons of rock and sand, leading to a gaping hole in the arcology ceiling above. The distinct shape of metal desk lies half buried, its surface blurred by a thick coating of silt. Again? Constantine did what? Site 2 is breached. Power is spiking. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thick knots of wires are strung between angular buildings. Ducts and pipes poke through the pockmarked metal plates. Metal walls of this passage are etched with strange spiral patterns. Oh, is it another one of these spiral things? Absorbing nutrients from the oxidized metal. Interessante. Does it give us oxygen? It gives us oxygen. Thanks, little guy. Okay, let's go open this door. We're gonna listen to this one. Site 2 is silent and there's nothing from Ophelius. Site 1 is off the grid. Where are the rescue teams? Bent at a sharp angle, the wall here is coming away from the floor, leaving a sharp-edged opening in the room behind. The tables, the disordered rows of chairs, this had to be where they ate, where they spoke. How many lived here? Chairs lie in disarray. What happened here? Was it sudden or a slow creeping realization that everything was about to end? A pair of work boots lie quietly in the corner, overflowing with silt. Phelios is going down. God damn it. What are they doing to my ship? We're leaving now. Recoil. The polyp's fresh flesh recoils at the barest hint of pressure, but no further movement or response occurs. Nothing from Ophelios, their feed just cut out. We are being erased here. Baikal is pulling the plug. Erased? Disobedience will be reported. Consider your next action carefully. Sand slopes over the tables and chairs from a breach in the wall. It's not hard to imagine witnessing the breach. Uh-oh. Pulling the plug on what, though? What were they doing? Were these gaps smashed through when the arcology was breached, or are they part of a slow process of rust and decay? This room was totally obliterated by rock and sand. The shards of bent wall are the only remains of the building. The facility twists away into the dark, drifts of pale sand filling its corridors as if it were an ancient tomb. Along the sand drifts that fill these four buildings are the shapes of tiered bunks where they slept. I'm sorry, Isabel, for what we did here. What'd you do here? What happened? This place isn't a facility, it's a city. Okay. How many more died here? Those without drive recorders, those buried under the rock and sand. Makes my skin crawl. On the still intact berths lie decomposing clothes, a single glove, a pair of round, clotted glasses. My tummy hurts. I'm gonna get some shut-eye first. Geoengineering shift is in 4 hours. See you in 3. The door to the berths is slid back, revealing the sand-choked beds of the arcology's occupants. You don't know that, Jason. They are going to come for us. No one is coming. We both know that. I lied to get here, Kai, and now I'm going to pay for it. What do you mean? This isn't even my real name. Wait, what? all these other side stories. A set of overalls lie flat on the berth, wisps with sediment drifting from their openings. A Baikal logo is still faintly visible. Sorry about your soreness. I guess I'll try going this way. Behind the crew quarters, huge pipes sit against the wall, surrounded by sand. What was powering this place when it was in operation? Were these supplying the power of the arcology, perhaps a geothermal plant buried deep below? The wide tunnel to the northern part of the arcology is completely collapsed. Is there anything left under those tons of rock? I don't know. Hard coral. Earth-born corals. These polyps build environments for themselves through the calcareous material deposited as their skeletons. Calcareous? Reminds me of like calcium. We're all a little lazy. Don't be too hard on yourself. The octagonal atrium was clearly once lined with glass and filled with water, an aquarium at the heart of the facility. This pipe, now filled with sand, looks like it exploded outwards, taking the glass atrium wall with it. The prime view of the atrium is said to be the office of someone important within the arcology. Now it's just another Delaric? What was that word? I understand, sir. No, we are prepared to follow erasure protocols. The site is already sealed, with all hands present. They sealed themselves in! Without letting the others know. That sucks. The ragged split in the atrium wall is lined with rust, leading through into dark, particle-choked corridors. Spirals have been etched across the surface, representing the polyp's path of movement at the rate of 1 inch per week. Fan seems to have a symbiotic relationship with the corals. It consumes their spawn, and they absorb the fan's light. Music intensifies. Wait, where was I? Metal boxes sit on powered pallets, abandoned mid-transit. What were they moving in and out of this place? The rock and sand covers the rusted metal of the arcology so completely that it's hard to know the facility's end and the caves begin. The walls here are covered in spiraling patterns and obscure lexicon written in glistening trails of mucus. Or of these little animal things. Oxygen! Slow Mason. I was gonna call them scribes. I'll call these slow masons for their careful glacial etching into the arcology's walls. They are hypnotic. Here the collapsing arcology walls have been broken through into an existing cave complex deep beneath the ocean floor. The caves lead away from the bulk of the arcology, wrapping themselves through the solid rock of the planet's crest. Making a square. Cozy. She's like, how dare you wake me? Okay, sorry. The sand filling this tunnel turns into a dark horizontal silt, or slit, but I can detect a current running into it. How deep do these caves lead? Oh, let's find out. The spirals here are smaller and more interwoven than elsewhere in the ecology. Layer after layer forms a patina of circular marks. A large molten skin is piled in the corner of this cave. Fragments of it drift away across the sand. What creature left this here? I don't know. The caves look ancient and deep. This is where the creatures now inside the ecology came from? Did the breach release them? Am I gonna get a facehugger attached to my face? Can't wait. Molten skin. Ooh. I think that's the only reason why I couldn't have a reptile. When they molt, I'm just like, no thank you. Ew. Where do we go from here? Oxygen, energy. Okay, we'll put that in there. Nope. Okay, how about this? There you go. Nothing in the cave walls. Okay, we go back. Just realized she might be in the way of things. Sorry. There you go. This was the office ceiling erasure protocol, yeah. It makes the gift for you. No, no, no. Man. Kansas City is just a powerhouse. Some more coral. Delarict atrium reaches upward and the sculpted rock tower is rising into the dark. We can use it to reach the upper levels. Excuse me. Basalt towers brought from the slopes above decorate the aquarium, a reminder for the occupants of the ocean above their heads. Oh. Spooky. 8 broken windows stare out of the atrium into the upper floors where white paneled walls resist the rust. At the top of the basalt pillar, a miniature statue of Baikal's suit stand heroically. What the hell was this place? The struts supporting the window have corroded away, their uncoated metal now furred with rust. Whole facility was destroyed, buried, erased. Was this what Monet was looking for in the deep ocean? We owe the artificers nothing. We can't even prove their sentience. They're a material one Baikal has every right to exploit. But how did she even know it was here? I feel like I'm swimming through other people's secrets. The grubby white paneling gives way to golden sand and rock bursting out from within the rooms themselves. Even in its sorry state, the paneling and double ceiling lock suggest a Baikal lab. Machines glint against the wall. What is it? Where? She says. Where? Onward! The side of the lab is layered with sweeping sand covering the layers of ornate machinery. Excuse me. Ornate geometric skeletons like those found in the bloom. Monet called them artificers. What are they doing down here? Here the wall seems to have been breached through the cave system, opening up during the breach. Thank you, Trash Panda. Both the kitties got a treat. Thank you. We have to power down. If the shielding is breached, it could blow up the whole facility. Start shutdown now. Oh. So whatever they found and we're researching broke out. Artificer skeletons. They were using them, harvesting them. Equipment here, they were building something, slicing and etching the artificer skeletons. But what? And then bury it. Oh, I have to click on this again. Protect the specimens. These skeletons alone are usable to correlate millions of qubits. They are irreplaceable. Is qubit a currency? Sealed cups still on the surface. Stylus is buried in layers of silver silt. Hardware corroded into lumpen piles. All this was a computing lab. All these machines are for hardware fabrication. Why didn't these close when the arcology was breached? Were they opened afterwards? The lockdown overridden somehow? Was it Monet? The security locks lie wide open, giving a clear view of the laboratory equipment beyond. Onward. Unlike the lower level, the walls here have resisted the corrosion. They're matte white covering stained orange but unbroken, so they're not metal? The huge entryway suggests this is this complex main lab. Faded by call markings explain procedures for entry and decontamination. Well, we don't have to worry about that now. While the main locks are open, the entryway is sealed with a hastily installed security iris. We should be able to cut through it. Running out of oxygen. That door here was violently shattered by the breach, breaking open what looks like a clean room. Rows of chairs and corroded consoles scattered across the tabletops, precisely machined components thick with silt. This looks like a suit fabricator, but retooled to build large-scale machinery. Its buckled plates reveal a crimson interior fused by rust. Like blocky coffins, these containers are still used by Baikal to ship their suits to active facilities. These are empty. The artificers. With them, we could rewrite life as we wish. We could rewrite it to endure Lucas, to surpass us. What? What's Lucas? That gave me no oxygen. Okay. We gotta find some oxygen soon. The suit is tagged. Arcaria Namura. I don't understand. Is that related to Minnie? How is that possible? It's her. It's Minnie's mother. This is why Minnie came here! She was looking for her mother! She's been here a long time, decades. Has Minnie been looking for her all this time? Why didn't you say something? Anything. Understandably so. My little Minnie, I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sing a little for your mother. It's so quiet here. Take the suit. Stop arguing. Without you, this project is dead anyway. Wookie needs to survive. The lab is ripped apart, plates buckled outwards, massive coolant pipes breached, twisted metal, now browned with age. Oh my gosh, she was looking for her mom! Sad. A long yellow cylinder marked with turquoise glyphs, identical to the casing mounted on the back of our suit. Our suit. Let's go! This is the same cylindrical casing as the one mounted on this suit. The same casing that houses you. Building it with some artificers, building it with the machines in this arcology. She was building you. This is you. One of you at least. A draft, an earlier version, a prototype. Akari is your mother, your creator. Did you know this? Did you know about any of this? No, I did not. Then you forgot? You malfunctioned? I don't know, I just started playing the thing with you! We need to go. I don't want to be here anymore. Please! Okay. Well. We can't get out of here. I'm running low on oxygen. Inside the pipe bulges with corroded growth, stretches upwards from the surface and a faint circle of light glows above. Alright, we go. We get out of here. My goodness. Is the rebreather gonna let me have oxygen? No retrieval. Surface of the basalt towers dance faintly. With blue light that falls from the surface above, they look calm, ancient. I know, I'm sorry, I need oxygen. Towards an inevitable end. What? Like, you're beeping at me, but like nothing is gonna give me oxygen. We are out. I don't know what to say. We're still in range of the ROV and the slopes. Call for pickup. Okay. Hey, MJ. You're back. Maybe. I'm down in medical. I disabled the quarantine. It's a beautiful in here. No, they went in! Okay, is that your name? Sure. I like it, despite the history. Listen, I don't know what you're thinking right now, but I wanted to say I trust you. I don't know what you knew about the arcology, about Baikal's history on this planet. Even your own history. But I do know that you helped me, you protected me, you guided me. I owe you for that, no matter where you came from. You didn't choose to be created like any of us, but this place is your home. You are made from the pieces of this ocean, from pieces of its past at least. I'm learning not to be afraid of the past. I'm not afraid of her either, of Monet, if that's her name now. I think she must have found something among those skeletons in the bloom. Something truly alien. It changed her. It continues to change her, but perhaps it is what is needed. Change. I found something I think you need to hear. I've been going through the arcology data, and it wasn't the only facility on this planet. There were 2 other sites, 2 other Baikal facilities. We need to find them. Baikal was up to something on this planet, something bigger than just AI research. I don't want to look away, I want to see what Baikal did with my own eyes. I marked the site's coordinates on the dive map. We should be able to cut our way in. I think we have to go east now because we have the torch. It's not about Monet anymore, it's about Baikal. It's about what happened here. About your history and the weight it carries. I'm ready whenever you are. Okay, so you've lifted quarantine. Does that mean that you are now infected as well? What's happening? Slow masons are colorless polyps covered in waving cilia, which etch elaborate spirals into the facility they feed upon. These pale, formless creatures are solitary, but not exclusively so. Some accumulate together in groups, hugging against each other's mass. There appears to be no obvious chemical exchange or communication within these groups, but perhaps the patterns they form as they eat serve some social purpose. Their exteriors show frequent evidence of consumption by other species, with no obvious method of defense. Upon being threatened by pressure, the polyps recoil, but do not appear to possess the ability to flee rapidly nor fight back. Perhaps sampling their secretions might help us understand the underlying patterns. lungcrests resemble large crabs in their basic anatomy, though they are instantly recognizable by the large multi-chambered bubbles they carry on their back. The function of these bubbles is unclear, but each individual produces slightly different bubble forms, and the individuals have been observed with their bubbles at different levels of inflation. So you got some small bubbles, you got some big bubbles. They seem to be filled with gas, but without analyzing one directly, we cannot know which gases. To feed lungcrests use their complex mouthparts to chew up silt and rock, slowly and systematically working through their territory. These territories seem to be unique to each creature, and I have yet to see one lungcrest trespassing on another individual's garden. A direct sample of their mucus bubbles might help us understand more about their behavior. Dancing bubbles. What is it, Katie? What is it? Come here. She's like, no. I will do no such thing. I will. Come back. Coldfire fan. These tall fan-shaped filter feeders can be found in the deep ocean of Gilsey 667c, where they glow with a distinctive warm bioluminescence. The centerpieces of the deep ocean's oasis of life, cold-fire fans and their flame-like pulsing light attract many other creatures to live around them. How this benefits the fan isn't precisely clear, but there are many possibilities, including defense and sustenance. Although the fans themselves do not lack in defenses, as unlike the smaller and paler fins which can be found in the bloom, coldfire fans have a sheddable mucus sheath which stops them becoming overgrown with other plants and creatures. Sampling and analyzing these sheaths might give some further insight. Water bulb. Water bulbs are pale, soft, egg-shaped creatures with transparent sections in their outer membrane. Water bulbs filter water through their interiors, which are hollow apart from their single gelatinous sphere, which sits at their center. Their anatomy is so unique that it is difficult to understand what exactly these incredible passive creatures are doing. They seem to have small stump-like legs at their base for stability, but it's unclear if they use them to move. Water bulbs seem to simply sit and filter water while bathing in the pale light at the edge of the fan oasis. Can I be a water bulb? Sounds great. Orreries are complex masses of polyps, tentacles, and other structures that form a web-like structure that swims as one. Unlike a terrestrial jellyfish, orreries appear to be asymmetrical, with marked differences even between individuals. Many of their orbiting sections are thin, blade-like membranes, but structures that resemble Strings of translucent pearls, thread-like tentacles, and bulbous polyps also make up large part of their bodies. Each area has a central mass which is protected by the series of cloud-like soft membranes twisted around each other like a rose. Close encounters with Ories have shown them to be dangerous hunters, capable of tangling up and shocking their prey into submission. They also deploy shocks as a defensive measure when faced with larger creatures like me. Perhaps future study of their prey may help. Cold fire bathers are pale, thick-stalked trefoil plants found in the deep of the planet's ocean. I don't know if I'm saying this planet's name right. The only known specimens currently identified have all been found gathered around glowing fans, basking in their warm light. This suggests that the bathers are photosynthesizing this bioluminescence in order to live, and therefore cannot live outside the sustaining glow of the fans. This is a knock-on effect for other life, as groupings of bathers then attract other creatures, perhaps to feed on or hide within them. The bathers also seem to produce a type of pollen made up of small particles that float on the deep water currents. This may well be a seasonal or rare event that my visit has happened to coincide with, or a constant state. Further study of this pollen would be desirable. Oh, we got a new thing. Manea's gone. And she's left behind one hell of a mess. The space is falling apart, cannibalized to build way stations out of the ocean. Out in the ocean. The communication array is sliced away, life support failing. Where did she even commandeer this research base from? There's no way Baikal would have supplied it willingly after what she did to them. What did she call me out here for? To witness her disappearance? Or did she simply want me to encounter, as she did, the impossible life of this ocean? How could it have gone ignored for hundreds of years, hundreds of years of exploration and conquest? There are too many questions to even begin. All I can do is keep an account of what happens here. So if I can't answer these questions, someone else might. It'll be weeks, maybe months, until the next ship passes close enough to pick up my shuttle transponder. Until then, I'm alone. This place is unbelievably important. Our first contact with life beyond Earth, but something else is happening here too, and I need to know what it is. I know you have been reading these. The access logs show someone else has been in the file system of my terminal, and well, by process of elimination, it has to be you. Oh, it's me! Ah, sorry. I don't mind. In fact, I suppose I have been writing these entries for an imagined audience anyway. Confessions, or maybe just a need to talk. We make a strange trio now. Me, a depressed xenobiologist who can't keep their mouth shut. You, an AI built from the remains of sentient species, and your sister, Manee, who is now more plant than human. But as far as I can tell, we are the only ones on this planet who have had any chance of finding out what happened here. I think I'm starting to understand why Manee called me here. It was because she trusted me not to give up, not to let this go. Let's not disappoint her. Okay. Okay, so we need to go out this way. And I guess over there. Let's go over here. Sample request. Where? There's a ton of sample requests. Okay, I haven't done enough. I'm just here for the story. Okay, second half just started. So we need to make our way east. Soothspore. Vector blocked. Can I not zoom out here? I got my little oxygen boost. This was the area that was blocked off by a lot of the plant life out here. I don't remember where we saw the thing that we could cut into. Oh. Burrowing creature. I've observed these creatures have a bright tail lore made from many thin, pointed plates. I think this is where... Yeah, here it is. Torch time. Bzz. Okay, we made it through. New adventure. Behind the barrier, the throbbing interior of the colony is revealed, filled with things of zoids acting as one. Right? Is that the right word? Zoids? Floating colony. I've never seen a colonial creature of this scale or complexity. Can it really be one single united creature made of ever-shifting processes? Well, I don't know. The vague shape of the facility's wall is observed by the colony, the spaces between filled with shifting swarms of life. Beneath the translucent webs of spherical growths, half-digested walls sit suspended like an exploded room, frozen in time. Oh, is this the other facility? The interior of this creature is like a golden bubble, the light trapped and refracted by hundreds of pearly orbs strung together. Between the ragged parts of the facility stretched looping bridges, pumping liquid back and forth from the heart of the colony. See you in a bit. This colony breaks the surface 20 meters above. It must be floating on the surface, its body descending in layers like a living iceberg. I don't know what these devices are. Drive recorder. Constantine is too arrogant. Just because he discovered the artificers doesn't mean he can decide their fate. He wants to free them. And what do the artificers want, Hannah? Has anyone asked them? Tiny medusoid creatures are budding from the walls here, splitting off from the luminous stems to join the flow. The walls are flowing mass of flowing mass of tentacles. Some have broken away and are floating freely in the water. We might be able to extract them. Is this a sample? Sample? Sample. Eaten away on one side, the remains of this lab are like an open set. A staging ground for the colony's process of sublimation. Sublimination. Yes. A vast colonial creature made of thousands of specialized zoids. Radis? It floats beautifully across this ocean like some impossible vessel. Excuse me. Would the colony preserve these rooms of the facility as it consumes them? What bizarre processes are in action here? The central laboratory is almost complete apart from the large tree-like growths cutting through the walls. We can't let this continue. We never intended this. What? That thing they are building. Dappled light fills the chamber, passing through its complex branching strands, orbited by swarms of zoids. Zoids! Constantine has already left for Site 2. If the facility fails and the Site 3 is breached, the Oceanic Mind... Oceanic Mind? Can be stopped. So they breached the site? Constantine? This person? Because they wanted to free them? It looks like a biologist's laboratory. Must have been the first exploratory base on the planet. They discovered the artificers. They started all of this. These were scientists like me employed by Baikal to study this place. How did it end like this? The minds they were building in the archaeology, the genetic research they were doing here. They were working on something, towards something bigger than one lab. How could they have let this happen? These biologists. Our first contact turned into a resource grab. Scan all you can, and then let's leave this place. I'll review everything back at the base. It won't be long before this colony eats this place away once and for all. I think we've scanned everything. Oh! Was that offsides? No. No. I think we're... Did Carolina score? No, they didn't. Oh. Back up. I've been going over the data from the facility. I was right to assume that the facility was the first base on the planet, the start of all of this. The lead biologist, Konstantin Hess, found the artificers here more than 30 years ago. What is truly incredible is what he discovered they could do. Genetic reprogramming, rewriting RNA and DNA both themselves and their local environment. Some Earth cephalopods could rewrite their RNA, but nothing at this scale or detail. The artificers tended to this world, nudging its life into new arrangements. Not only that, but their exoskeletons. They were quantum computers. Silicon wafers of incredible complexity and purity, able to simulate the outcomes of their genetic rewriting. The artificers were housed in the natural machines that once evolved here over millions of years. Their complexity far outstrips our own. We could have learned so much from them. But Baikal wanted the artificers' abilities for themselves. Something happened. Why are there no artificers left? Why the collapse of these sites? We have to revisit the other sites. The answers are there, I know it. It sounds like the biologist Konstantin breached the facilities and did something so that Baikal could not continue to exploit this planet. Hey. Hey. What are you doing? Little gremlin. Little gremlin. The Radis colony is a huge colonial organism made of layers of zooids? Zooids? I don't know how to say this word, I apologize. All occupying different roles within its large and complex body. Closer to a living island or an iceberg than a creature, Radis is a free-floating structure which travels across the surface of the planet's spanning ocean. Trying to observe the patterns of Radis is a difficult task. I have counted tens of different zooid types, flowing in constant movement throughout its cavernous interior. We can assume that they occupy typical roles of a colonial organism: motility, defense, digestion, and reproduction. But in a colony so vast, many other processes may be happening. Does Radis have any neural activity, and why does it cling to the remains of the Baikal lab? More biscuits. Yeah. Biscuits. Oh, she's getting in there. She's really getting in there. Making it all cozy. Super cozy. This is what she likes to do right before bed. Okay, we're back in the bloom. Got some oxygen stuff. We need to go south. Wait, was this the sample thing that I could get? Sorry, we're going back. It is, okay. I think I need to go down this way. Excuse me. We're zooming. I've read a lot of this stuff already, so we're just kind of zooming so I can get my oxygen levels back up. And hopefully make it to this other facility that they were talking about. Oh, maybe it's over there. I don't know if I can get between this rock crevice thing though. Let's see. Abandoned base. That's what it is. Over this way. Okay. Silt is gathered in wide drifts around the remains of Manet's makeshift base. In the shadow of the ridge, the water here is still and clearer than elsewhere in the balloon. Among the rocks, the twisted remains of some equipment most likely brought here by Manet is less oxidized and caked in growth. Is there anything to be found here, or am I just wandering blindly in this green desert? Thick with microbial growth, the edge of the sinkhole is likely ragged green wound in the rock of the ridge. Thick fibers of microbial growth cobweb the stark entrance into the central ridge. Froth of green bubbles lies beyond the edge. Sample them. I'll sample them when I have more oxygen. I gotta go. I gotta go. Okay. Curved walls streaked with cascades of green bubbles are all glassy and sickly green in the light of the suit's headlamps. Key. What am I doing? Oh, there's samples. Let's go get the samples. Bloom bubble. Probably not something I can use for oxygen, huh? Nope, we can use it for power. Let's go. Does it actually tell me if it gives me oxygen? Okay, we're through. Let's go. Choked with rock and sand, the metal chamber is deathly still. The angular shapes of industrial machinery lie in wait. Oh, it's getting rusty. The pillars which stretch upward toward the cavernous roof of the chamber are warped and distorted, barely able to hold the weight. Imagine this was once a sealed tube stretching from floor to ceiling, but now it's just a round, ragged hole in the metal floor. Hulking machines built for industrial use sit covered in a fine layer of sand and growth. This was a place where people worked. Half of the rock ceiling above the chamber seemed to have come down at once, burying most of the room. Down we go. Angular plates piled with sand are all that remains of the rooms and structures that divided up this level of the facility. Whether it was a control room or storage shed, this room has been totally crushed by the facility's collapse. Excuse me. The shell of some corroded maintenance vehicle is flooded with sand, its top a garden of microbial growth. This looks spooky. Oh. Look, that tank is filled with microbial growth. What is this place? Be careful. The water just as toxic as above in the bloom. Well, we're going in. I don't know. Have some stuff. Corroded walls. These tanks were breached with explosive force. That remains corroding while, all that. Okay. Well, it's spicy in here. Let's see. These banks of consoles must have controlled the operations within the tank. Now the tank's contents have turned them to scrap. Maintenance on the South Hall is continuing. I'm seeing a massive pressure spike here. Control? Uh-oh. These wide pipes look to have been connected to the hall's tanks. They must have controlled the outflow of whatever this was produced here. Oh, so the facility produced something. They breached the facility, and then it started infecting the local area. That's really unfortunate. These pipes, those tanks, this facility was outputting huge volumes of something into the planet's atmosphere. Has to have been geoengineering project, a way of changing planets. But look at this place. It suffered a total collapse. What went wrong? Constantine! Tall passage between the two halls of the facility. This place must have been impressive when it was in full operation. The central tank has held back the sand and rock, but it leans unsettling forward into the hall. More spicy water. Rising wall of sand leans heavily against the tank, bearing tons of equipment and who knows what else. A large access hatch to the floor above lies open, its ladder corroded into a twisted, rusty spine. Yes, sir. Atmospheric density is increasing ahead of schedule. Please inform the board. They will be pleased. Atmospheric density? Of what? What are they putting into the atmosphere? You're so pretty. You're pretty, kitty. Puppies. The rows of sand-choked desks, rusted consoles, and dim monitors make it clear this was a facilities control room. Preserved by the low flow of water inside the control room, the smoothed out shapes of human bones are scattered across the floor. No! No! Oh god, the tank is breached! The artificers! I didn't mean... Oh no. It was Constantine that did this. This is their last name. Oh no! So the artificers produce the bloom stuff? They were changing this planet, manipulating it. These vast tanks of engineered microbes were their tools. Algae changed the atmosphere of Earth billions of years ago. These creatures were meant to do the same. But by accident or sabotage, this containment was breached. These idiots, they could have killed every last species on the planet, eaten up in a global bloom. Somehow the reef survived. Somehow the stalks held on, tried to revert our mistake. Humans don't deserve this planet. We didn't deserve to find life. I've seen enough. Scan what's left and take it back to the base. Let's find a way out of here. Okay. What are you? Step away from the console. I'm sorry. Control room's evacuation hat hangs open piles of rocks and sand all around. Despite the cave-in, this console is surprisingly pristine, a cup sitting beside one of the monitors where it was placed decades before. You're doing the artificers a favor. Despite all their abilities, they couldn't manifest this kind of planetary change. But why would you want to? This is like ouchie change. This is spicy water change. The heck? This is why no one escaped the facility. This tunnel was sealed. The control room's escape route cut off. Well, good thing I have a torch. Good thing I have a torch. Sealed at both ends, this corridor is pristinely preserved. The Baikal decal is still visible on the gleaming walls. Why was it sealed? Who sealed them in? A second seal locks off the corridor at the other end. They made sure no one would escape. Why would they lock them in like that? Did Davina score? I think she did. Oh no, it was... No, it was... It's trash ball. It's always the trash ball. Look at that. Boink. It's looking like it's gonna be Gotham and Kansas City for the Summer Cup. Do 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 do. The tunnel leads out into a small shelf overlooking a rift discreetly cut into the rock. Wait, so how did they build this tunnel here? And seal it off? I don't understand why they designed it this way. Back in the open water, the current at this end of the rift softly pushes against the suit. Above, the steep rift wall meets the shelf of the bloom. Puppies. The north green clouds rise up, the familiar sight of the bloom that surrounds the shelf and the facility below it. Behind the pillars, the reef's strong currents are lessened, making a small sheltered stretch of water on the side of the rift. Less dramatically shattered than the central reef, the northern shelf slopes down gently through the layers of sediment. We've been here before. We crossed this earlier. Okay, back to the lab. All night again. Good. We have a lot to talk about. I've been digging through what we discovered at the facility, what they did there. It's terrible. They could have wiped out life on this planet. Baikal should have known better than to mess with the entire planet's ecosystem. The failure of the facility was catastrophic. The bloom dominated half of the planet. As far as I can tell, it wiped out the artificers. Think about those skeletons in the bloom. But the rest of the planetary ecosystem reacted, somehow resisted, pushed the bloom back. Based on what we found at Site 1, the artificers must have had a role in this, their final act, an attempt to prepare this world for the catastrophic Baikal unleashed. They died for this planet, and you are all that survives of them. Well, perhaps not all. I keep seeing the same thing mentioned in the data, the same thing appearing in fragments. Oh, what if Monet becomes one? The Oceanic Mind. As far as Baikal were concerned, you were just the beginning, the first mind. The artificers were the key. Inscrutable creatures with a quiet power, able to simulate, predict, then able to change. They could rewrite life itself. For Baikal, the opportunity this provided was clear. While the artificers were like gardeners, caretakers of this world, Baikal imagined something else. An oceanic mind providing total control of the ecosystem, able to enact their will. Why would you want to control an ecosystem like that, though? Like, you just mess it up. That's what they were building when the colony collapsed, and it's still out there, in the deep. Powered by the heat of hydrothermal vents, the oceanic mind sleeps. I want to see it for myself. We have to know how this all ended. I've marked the approximate position on the map. Way out to the north, deep in the abyss. Let me know when you are ready to see this through. I was born on Earth, born in the city of Ponta Delgada, out in the Atlantic, among the turquoise water and green slopes of the Azores. My father was studying the dying waters, chasing the last known pod of sperm whales to record a final fading image of their impossible spatial language, before it was lost forever. My mother was a journalist writing a book on citizen scientists that never found a publisher. We lived there, and all along the Atlantic coast of Europe for almost a decade before life became impossible. The storms tearing into the tidal walls, flooding cities after city, clothes twisted in foaming water, we joined the latest waves of refugees, found ourselves beside the Thames, resettled in London. Thames? Thames? I don't know how to say the river. From that privileged viewpoint, I watched our ocean die, and then my parents too. At some point, once I'd left that sad gray planet behind on a string of Baikal contracts, I forgot that turquoise water ever existed. You were born here, and maybe here things could be different. Sad. Observation blister. What is swimming by? Okay, what's going on in medical? Still just... I bet you Moné's gonna become an artificer. Like she's transforming. We're almost at the hydrothermal vents, 3 kilometers down. This has to be close to the suit's range. I can hear the plates creaking now. Somehow we are maintaining 1 atmosphere of pressure inside the hard suit. Wow. We make it back up, we'll be settling a strong first record for deep divers. There's almost nothing in the water column here, no life to speak of. But the oceanic mine should be somewhere ahead. That's our target. Whatever monster Baikal left us, I'm ready. Let's find it. Okay. Layered with a wispy fog of oceanic ooze, the darkness of the plain is absolute. Darkness. Streaks of iron ore have accrued across the seafloor, the mark of nearby hydrothermal activity. There's not enough oxygen down here to use the rebreather, so I'm on reserves. Oh, great. Joy. The survey data we pulled shows the vents running north from here along a ridge. Edges of volcanic rock poke through the sediment back. Black strips against the bright mineral and metal ores. Keep moving, we haven't got long. I'm reading! I know you're just human and I'm an AI, but I'm reading. A soft drift of sediment flakes catch the suit's lamps falling off from the vented fluid as it spreads into the waters above. Oh, sand. Black plumes of fluid rise from the crystalline chimney, discolored with yellow sulfur streaks. Oh, ouchies. Okay, probably spots we're not supposed to go. Incredible! Look at these things. I remember reading about the discovery of hydrothermal vents on Earth centuries ago. Donnelly, Corrales, and Van Andel, 3 geologists, never expected to find life in that eternal darkness. And yet, there it was. Whole ecosystems we never knew were there, totally independent of the sun's light. They're imagined to be models of alien ecosystems, life in the most extreme forms. But until this planet, that proved to be false. To all humanity, the universe was dead. Damn Baikal for keeping this place from us, for keeping humanity in the dark. Well, I think they did a lot of things. Bone pale sand mounds surround the chimneys like great piles of cremation ash. Towering pale spires shimmer with the intense heat of the vents as chemicals are pumped into the water from the deep within the planet. Chemicals. My favorite. Let's go this way. The tiered structure of vents evidences their eons of incremental growth as deposits build up around them. Rich in minerals, the black blooms of the vents tower over us, fading into the black of the ocean above. Doo-doo-doo. Gases went up through the sand, creating these thin string of bubbles. Oh, excuse me. The glint of the fool's gold catches the light of the lamp, scattering among... Away from the center of the clustered collapsed chimneys and pillow lava create a landscape of stratified shapes. Shapes! Another vent is beginning to form in the rock here, a low pile of crystalline anhydrite starting to gather. Close to the vent masked by the shimmering water, I can see the shapes of a distorted creature. Long dead. What is that? I don't know, let's go see. I don't understand. Where's the life? This ecosystem is totally barren. All these minerals, nutrients, heat, nothing feeding off of it. How can this be? Could it just be this vent? Let's keep looking. Okay. The intense heat of the vents quickly fades off as it mixes with the cold seawater. Mounds of gray rocks in the bed of pale talc sand, evidence of ancient volcanic processes. Volcanoes. The rubble of sealed chimneys lie all around, the hydrothermic fluid seeking other exits, forming new vents. Out of sight of the vents hidden in the dark, the heavy silence of the seafloor returns. Eons of sediment blanket the seafloor, so pale and empty. The artificial mind Akari was building down here. What was the end goal? Was Baikal hoping to control this whole ecosystem? An entire planetary agriculture attuned to feed their needs? An ecology manipulated by the possibility of genetic rewiring, a power stolen from the artificers. An enslaved planet, like Earth. I know why Monet was secretive. She knew that if they found this place again, that would be it for life here. Buddy. What are you doing? Another vent chimney. Where's all the life that should thrive on the rich fluid which blackens the water? Oh, buddy. What is it? Strange, tiered, and curved rocks sit all around, distorted by tectonic processes, strained with mineral growth. Hi. You okay? Okay, come here. The surface around this vent are thick with sediment, but absent of all life. Even the ubiquitous bacteria mats are nowhere to be seen. Another barren vent. This place has been wiped clean. Something is wrong here. What did they do? I don't know. Around the base of the vents, gas bubbles stream out of cracks, forming pillars which glitter beautifully in the suit's lamps. The bleached sand is almost perversely clean. No life has marked this surface in decades. Looks like it's Kansas City and Gotham. GG's. Another spire sits at the edge of the cluster, filling the water with blackened fluid like a lightless bonfire. What are you doing, bud? I need this. Thank you. You want down? Okay. He just plops on the ground. Here, away from the vents, piles and piles of distorted corpses lie, their curled bones dusted with pale sediments. Uh-oh. What happened? Look at these creatures! The bodies, it looks like progressive ossification. The muscles have become bone. Their mutilations are extreme, like cancerous growths. There's no structure to their anatomy. Uh-oh, they tried to create life. The mind, is this what it made? These senseless monstrosities? Oh no. We made a monster. It's fine. Radial piles of long dead creatures frozen in crippled states of deformation scar the seafloor. Music intensifies. The corpses become a mass of undifferentiated matter with the occasional shape of bone or shell, like a tooth growing inside a tumor. Blobby human things, great. Vast organic sphere towers over the corpses, its ornate geodesic patterns mirroring those of the artificers. I don't like where this is going. The mind, it's huge. But it's silent. It's been silent for decades. This is no cradle of life, it's a grave. Did they fail? Is all of this that's left a broken mind lying in a bed of corpses? They had no idea what they were doing. The arrogance of all of this. A whole ecosystem boiled down to nothing. The artificers lost to us. These are Baikal's crimes. Akari's crimes. What a waste. Is there nothing left? We should look inside. What is it? What do you need? Are you hungry? Do you want pets? Milo just wants pets. I can't reach you all the way over there. Damn. A vast ornate structure grown in the Baikal Labs sits broken and dead on the seafloor, its interior a dark cavern. Are we inside the mind? I mean, my mind is also empty. How big were the artificers? I'm curious to understand, like, how big those things were. Oh my lord. Who's it, buddy? I just picked you up and then you wanted down. Do you want up again? You just want to be held? What is it, buddy? I'm taking a cat break. My treat. Can I have my hand back? Thank you, W. Okay. Deep inside the oceanic mine, something flickers in the ruins. Wonder what it is. Is that an artificer? It survived! Or it was born here? Does that mean there are more? It looks dormant. Is it even alive? Wait, do you hear that? It's singing. I can feel. It knows what we are. And it's afraid. I understand why. Look at what humans did here. I'm sorry. Wait, no, come back. It's gone. We should be going too. We're running down on our oxygen and it's been a long way up to the top. Come on, there's nothing left for us here. Small but ornate geodesic exoskeleton lies in the silt inside the artificer shifts and reforms with a rhythmic consistency. I wonder if it's connected with Monet, because her mom said to sing as well. Burrito just like that. Yeah, well. She's just grumpy, and I love her. And she only lets me love on her. Thank you for the burrito treat as well, Mad Dog. Puppies! Well, now you gotta go back to your ship and turn off your transponder, because if they find this place again, like... that's not great. Oh, can I? Okay, time to go. Beginning the ascent. So they're still out there. The artificers. This is their planet, and we owe them so much. I suppose it's your planet too, with the mine being a failure, the colony destroyed. You are its last artifact, born here, and now this is my home too, mine and Monet's. There's so much left for me to do, so much to study, so much to understand. Our history here, it's ugly. It's part of something I don't want to be a part of, but this planet's future. Maybe we can have a part in that. Monet gave everything for the truth. Some residual part of the artificers changed her, but I hope she knows. She knows she succeeded. This place is no longer a secret, no longer Baikal's to control. Thank you, Monet. And thank you. To you. For staying with me, for guiding me. Together I think we can make a change, show humanity Baikal's crimes, make them accountable. We both carry burdens here, but the past doesn't define us. Life continues here, despite everything that has happened. I can find comfort in that. I think I'm going to stay. I don't have anything left out there, but here I have Monet, I have you. And I have purpose. Someone needs to swim these waters to catalog this world. When I was little, I swam every day. I'd walk down to the ocean and step into it without a thought. I lost that, degree by degree, as Earth's oceans died, but here things can be like that ocean, once again. These waters can wash all the old ways away. And together, we will see what's left when they do. No, she does not. Just me. Sedge. Will we not ever know what Monet turns into?